Hello, hello.
Hi, I started my timer before yours.
Oh my god.
Little did you know it was a race.
I always think it's a race. I'm always trying to be over-prepared for that. How are we today, folks? I hope you're good. I hope you're doing well. Jamie, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm tired.
That good, hey? Yeah. I think we've switched.
You're feeling good now?
I am. Well, to be fair, I am on my second caffeinated drink. So, I'm feeling better.
I have water.
I also have water. I'm having one of those ADHD days where I have 3 drinks at all times. I have one for caffeine, one for taste, and one for hydration.
I'm just hydration.
Caffeinated, and I'm feeling hydrated for the first time in a while.
Good, I think.
It's crazy. Yeah, I know it's a new experience, that's for sure. But what's not new is how excited we are for this week's episode.
Conspiracy.
I feel like we haven't done a conspiracy episode in a long time, but I feel like I always feel like that.
Yeah.
I feel like it hasn't actually been that long.
I don't remember. We talked on Patreon about the CIA.
Oh, that might be
but
what
that
I'm
was
thinking
Patreon,
of.
So go
That's
check
true.
that out.
Yeah, if you want to know what we said about the CIA and why we're probably on a list somewhere, patreon.com/creepsandcoffee.
No, probably. We're on the list.
We're on a list, for sure. But this time, I don't think we're going to end up on any list. You never know. We're talking about the moon. I'm Kate.
And I'm Jane, and this is Creeps and Coffee,
A show where we talk about the dark parts of the world around us.
Cryptids, conspiracies, things that go bump in the night,
And the crimes behind the scariest creatures of all, humans.
Join us as we take a look at the stories sure to give you the creeps.
Pull up a seat, grab a coffee,
and let's have a chat.
What are we saying about the moon? I know.
Lots of different things.
It's made of cheese.
I am actually going to talk about that.
That's what happens when you try to be facetious. But then you remember that you have a podcast about conspiracies.
But then you remember you don't know what facetious means. What does that mean? I almost said Sisyphus. Sisyphus.
Nope.
Sisyphus.
Always comes back to Sisyphus.
Sisyphus has syphilis.
No.
Sisyphus has syphilis.
Facetious would be the word that you were looking for. Facetious is not a word.
What? Facetious? Facetious Sisyphus. Sisyphus has Sisyphus. Facetious Sisyphus has syphilis.
There you go.
Say that 10 times fast. I can't
or
say
once.
it once.
Yeah.
Your turn.
Facetious Sisyphus has syphilis. I also did music and theater for 12 years, so I've done a lot of tongue twisters as warm-ups. So, anyway, what are we talking about the moon? Just the moon?
Yeah, we're talking about the moon. We got a couple of different conspiracies involved in it, one of which you already spoiled, that it's cheese.
Sorry. Everybody knows it. It's not spoiling anything.
Well, I really hope it's not, because I'm lactose intolerant. But
I'm not, so.
But we'll talk about it.
But more specifically, we're going to talk about the hollow moon theory.
Yeah.
Which, everything that I read about, everything that I studied, I was kind of a little annoyed about, because everything was, it's universally considered to be a fringe conspiracy theory. It's a pseudoscientific theory. I'm like, no, it's a hypothesis.
Do you believe it?
No. But I just hate how people are so quick to be like, it's a fringe theory. No, it's not. Is it a little out there? Maybe. But it's no more out there. Exactly. We don't know shit about space.
Well, should I get into it?
Please do.
So there are a couple of different, theories about how it's hollow, why it's hollow, what's inside of it. One theory is that it's just like Earth, but hollow.
Incredible.
subsections to that. It's just like Earth but hollow, and there's people living there. Or there's another one that it's hollow, but that it's also a spaceship. An alien spaceship.
The Death Star.
Oh my god. You're right.
I always am.
But we can get into it.
I will preface that with the fact that I know nothing about space or Star Wars.
Amazing. You are correct in saying that it is a pseudoscience. Pseudoscience.
You add eyes into everything.
It is a... What did you say?
Pseudoscientific.
What did I say?
Studio.
There's an O in it.
Yeah, pseudo. There's not an I. It's not studio. It's pseudo.
Interesting. Meaning that there's no scientific evidence. But we're gonna do a little bit of pretend. Let's suspension of disbelief.
It's not pretend. It is letting go of the preconceived barriers of our scientific knowledge and expanding our capability of acceptance of the laws of the universe.
And then when the episode's over, let's bring it back to reality.
No.
Okay, so...
You guys, we're talking about space and we're going to talk about aliens, so you know that I'm going to be all over the place this episode. So...
Yeah. Okay, true. So, on top of aliens and UFOs and stuff, we're also going to talk about ancient astronauts, which just sounds cool. But
sick.
This refers to the belief that intelligent extraterrestrials visited Earth very early on, like prehistoric times, and they helped us develop technology and stuff.
I would like to go back to our episode
No.
about the building of the pyramids, and I would like to point out that Anna and I said this. And it's a theory that we still stand by.
I know you do. So, these ideas for the spaceship section of this hypothesis is from the 1970s when two Soviet authors wrote a short piece and published it speculating that the moon might be the creation of alien intelligence. And since then, that has gained popularity, apparently with Caitlin as well.
I'm just saying, I went on a rant about it in the pyramids episode, and I'm going to do it again here. There are too many general consistencies across early religions. I'm not talking Christianity versus like Judaism. I'm talking ancient religions at their foundation. There's gods of war. There's goddesses
What are we
of
talking
fertility.
about?
Hold on. There's always like 8 or 9 main types of gods across religions that would not have even come in contact with each other whatsoever. That goes to say that there's these 8 or 9 powerful figures across the globe.
You think they're living in the moon?
No, I don't. Let me finish. I don't think they're living in the moon, but I think it stands to say that there was some sort of extraterrestrial influence where those same 8 or 9 figures who were all responsible for war, for fertility, for hardiness, like the harvest, like, could they have been aliens? I think there's some fundamental aspects to that theory. Do I believe it wholeheartedly? No. Every religion has their own differences, whatever. But I'm just saying, if you look at like ancient Egyptian gods, aliens might have the blue skin that they were talking about. Aliens might have like slight differences. They might be bigger. They might have the magic of a god, so to speak. So the theory that aliens did interact with early beings, I think has some merit to it. And that being said, the theory that those ancient beings, those ancient aliens, could have been traveling around the universe, not just to Earth, I think that has some merit. Were they using the moon to do it? I don't know. I wasn't there.
Right. So, some very popular theories are the hollow moon and hollow earth. We have made the executive decision that hollow earth is going to be a whole separate episode because we could do it both at the same time, but it would be about a 2-hour long episode.
Yeah, and like that theory goes back to like the 1700s.
Yes.
So there's a lot to delve into. It's very interesting, and we'd love to talk about it, and we will for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But let's talk about the moon. The moon doesn't get enough credit.
Yes.
For all that it controls, the tides, the currents, whatever.
Yeah.
I think it deserves some more credit.
So, one of the only compelling arguments that I've heard about this, I will say I don't believe the moon is hollow, but this I can't quite explain, is when the moon rang like a bell. Did you hear about this?
I did not, but that sounds fascinating.
So, let me see. Where do I start? So, between 1969 and 1977, there were seismometers installed on the moon by the Apollo missions to record moonquakes, which are like earthquakes, but on the moon. Ain't that cool?
I never thought about the concept of that and that we couldn't just call them earthquakes.
Right?
But
They're
it's
moonquakes.
not Earth, so...
So, they were checking for moonquakes. And
I love that.
on November 20th of 1969, Apollo 12 deliberately crashed the ascent stage of its lunar module onto the moon's surface, but NASA reported that the moon rang like a bell, and that's a quote, for almost an hour, leading to people saying it must be hollow like a bell, like a church bell when you ring it.
Could this not...
Some people say it's earthquakes, shallow earthquakes, but also, how's it making that sound? And how loud was it? And
That's what I was
was
going
it?
to ask, is what... Could it have been a technological interference?
We don't know. There have been theories that it rang like this due to different textures, types, and densities of planetary strata, but there's no evidence of any large empty space inside the body. But there's no explaining this. Besides, they said it was probably earthquakes. Sorry, moonquakes.
Moonquakes.
But
I've never heard an earthquake that made a ringing sound.
No. And
I
for
can
an
understand.
hour?
Yeah, I can understand definitely hearing different sounds when it comes to like an earthquake, because there's such a shift with the things that are already on Earth, the buildings, the cars, the electronics.
Yeah.
But the moon, as far as we know, the moon has none of those things.
No, and that's
so
why
if there's a
I'm like,
moonquake,
oh.
what would cause the shift? This feels very much like the bloop.
Yeah.
Like just a random sound in a place where we don't really actually know that much about, so we don't know what sounds are common.
And
Is
we are
that
scared?
And we are terrified. I wonder if that's a sound that's heard on other planets during their quakes. You know what I mean? Like if it's just something that we haven't heard on Earth because of the things I mentioned, the things that are on the surface. I wonder if it would be present, or if they're even measuring for things like that, because it's not like we touch down on a bunch of different planets to get a bunch of different like readings. We can monitor them in different ways, but definitely not. There's no like rover on each and every planet doing all the work that like the Apollos, I guess, are doing on the moon.
Another nail in the coffin to the argument is that people who believe this theory argue that the moon's density is 3.3 whatever, watts, volts. That's not right, but you know what I mean. But Earth is 5.5, And they're like, so it must be smaller and hollower because it's lighter. And it's like,
That's
just
not...
because it's different doesn't mean it's hollow. It just means
exactly.
it's smaller.
It's also
and it's made
of
different
material.
Yep.
So it's not gonna, it's naturally not gonna be the same density and the same measurements, because it's not like every planet and every moon are carbon copies of each other. It's the same concept as, our moon is not gonna have the same density as Jupiter's moons.
Yeah.
They're different.
So I'll also remind everyone how historically we believe what the moon emerged as. If it's not a spaceship, if it's not made of cheese, according to Bill Nye and Darwin,
the two greatest scientists of our time.
Yeah, exactly. So there are a couple of different suggestions. One is that it was a piece of Earth that disconnected but stayed in our gravity, like a comet hit Earth or something and broke off a piece. Some people say it's the Grand Canyon, but it would eventually get
erode into the...
Yeah, erode, yeah. So not originally, but that's one suggestion.
I don't agree with that.
That's the one I most likely to believe.
So did that happen in every planet? Because every planet has moons.
No. So other moons.
So other moons exist organically, but our moon...
Well, they might have been comets
moons.
Or asteroids that came too close and got sucked into the gravity of say Jupiter, and now they just circle Jupiter. Yeah. Which is also a theory.
I mean, based on how science works, I know this is not my strong suit. I am the least likely to believe
That's the one that Bill Nye says, so that's one I believe.
Well, I disagree with Bill Nye.
Another theory is that the moon was like an asteroid, or they call it a planetoid.
Well, that makes more sense, because an asteroid is tiny.
Yeah, that got too close to Earth's gravity and then got sucked in and is now just circling, which I guess makes sense if it's not the same material as Earth.
Yeah,
but...
well, that's the thing. That's what throws me off, is it's it's not made of the same things, and if it was...
that we know
then
about.
We would have another Earth.
Or another theory is that these are the most widely known theories. Sorry, I'm showing you with my hands. You guys can't see it, but I've got my grippers out, and I'm
she sure does.
Is that the Earth and the moon formed together as a double system when they were created in the solar system.
Okay.
And they're circling each other. So they're a pair, like twins, but one is tiny.
See, when I think of that, I think of the ancient Greek thing. We're all created as one being divided in two.
Okay. The last one I'll mention. I'm I have one more thing to say, then you can have your time. The last theory I'll mention is that the moon supposedly Earth had a giant impact of apparently a Mars-like structure, that big, hit us, and then a debris ring flew around us. So there was a bunch of stuff just in our system, our gravity, whatever you call it, that eventually collected and then all stuck together and then formed the moon.
My problem again with this, with these theories, is I'm sure, but that happened to every planet. It just so happened to happen the exact same to every planet, sometimes multiple times.
Moons.
Yeah, well, no, I understand moons. That's my point exactly, is that wouldn't make sense for that to happen in every different planetary orbit.
You're saying moons aren't real?
No, I'm saying the creation of the moon being like that is not real.
Okay, what do you believe? Those are the most widely believed in science.
Okay, but that doesn't... There's no theory on how planets were created that makes sense to me logically. But I'm just saying it's not... No, you tell me, Jamie. Explain how the universe was created.
I don't know. I can tell you about how stars are born, but don't make a Lady Gaga joke.
Get out of my head.
So another argument about the moon not being real. One where it talks about that it's man-made.
The moon not being real.
Well, like that it was a spaceship, if you will, something alien. The arguments started in 1965, where this guy, Isaac, sorry brother, this is a stupid argument. He said it doesn't make sense that there's perfect solar eclipses. So he says that it has to be a sheer astronomical accident that the moon fits so snugly over the sun to create a solar eclipse. Therefore, there's no reason for them to fit so well, so it must be that Earth was blessed with this from a foreign...
Brother, it's a sheer astrological accident that our solar system exists at all.
Yeah. That's space.
Yeah, welcome to the universe, my friend. Everything is an accident. We are not in control of any of it, dude. We're on a floating rock.
Yeah. And
that makes me ill.
That's
I
one
hate
of
thinking about space.
Yeah. Think about it too much, but the same argument can be made. Saturn's moon, Prometheus, is the exact same size and like shape as the sun when viewed from Saturn. It's just a circle.
It's just a rock, man.
It's round.
Yeah, it's everything
Crazy.
is round.
Let me see.
Why is there no... Not that I agree with this by any means, but, like, if you're going to use that logic, why do you not have an opposing theory that the sun is man-made? Because there's solar eclipses, too. How does the sun perfectly cover the moon?
Right.
Like, what are we talking about?
I don't know. Another one from 1970. There are two names that I cannot pronounce. So, Michael and Alexander.
Perfect.
Will not be telling you their last names.
Perfect. Not important.
Michael and Alexander of the Soviet Academy of Sciences.
There you go.
Hypothesized that the moon is a spaceship by unknown beings. And they published it in Sputnik, which is the Soviet equivalent of Reader's Digest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they said it was through the creation of alien intelligence.
Yeah.
Which I want to point out again, and I say it every time I talk about aliens, and it makes me sound like a conspiracy theorist because I say it so passionately, but I also, I need people to understand that when people talk about aliens and alien intelligence, it's not always the concept of, little green men in a spaceship with it's not E.T. phoning home.
It could be 4-dimensional beings we can't even see.
It could just means something that's outside of human.
It could be
in our
humans
universe
that are purple.
Exactly. They could
know.
look exactly but that's the thing, is it's not these tiny little gray men or green men in spacesuits that are coming to eat your face.
It could be, but we don't know.
Well, 100%. It could be, absolutely. I'm not knocking that possibility either. But,
or maybe they're godlike deities.
But that's exactly what I was getting at with that point before, is what if they look exactly like what we thought the ancient gods did?
Mm.
What if they're able to change their appearance? What if they have this intelligence that we will never be able to comprehend what they look like or don't look like? Like you said, they could be 4-dimensional creatures that we can't even comprehend.
Mm.
It just means, it doesn't mean... In the same way that when people talk about UFOs and they're like, UFOs don't exist. Yes, they do. It's anything it doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be a flying saucer. If you look in the sky and see a kite, but you don't know that it's a kite and you can't identify it as a kite, it's unidentified, it's flying, and it's an object. That's a UFO, folks. Like,
I thought I saw a UFO when that guy released the Starlink satellites or whatever. Because I was walking at 5 a.m. and I looked up and I saw a line of like 20 glowing lights. I called my mom and I was like,
that's the thing.
Spaceship, what do I do?
But that's the thing. Do we know that there's little tiny green men coming to invade the Earth on there? No. But was that unidentified to Jamie at the time?
Yeah.
Yes. So that is a UFO. There's also unidentified submersible objects.
Oh,
things you see underwater that you can't identify. So people have this... I think when people think about aliens, they think of it as so fringe because everything has to be the tiny little green men in spacesuits on a flying saucer. No. It's just something that's not from our universe. And how selfish of you do you have to be to think that we're the only possible intelligent beings in the entire universe? So that's all that to say that the creation of alien intelligence, yeah, it sounds fringe. Do I think that the moon really was made by aliens? No. But it's not a completely unheard of concept to think, oh, something out there could have been made by something that's smarter than us.
Yeah.
Whatever that may look like. And I'll jump off the soapbox now.
It's okay. I'll jump on.
I just think it's an important distinction to make because I think people look at alien theories and they look at the theories of space and they get so caught up in like the Scooby-Doo alien invasions and like stuff like that they're like, no, couldn't possibly be. And I'm like, it actually could. The fucking parasites that we found on the moon or on the water that they found on Mars. The tiny little living creatures. Those are aliens.
Oh my god, true.
Because they are not within our system.
Aww.
Like, do I think that they're smart enough to have... They're amoebas.
Yeah.
Like, but they are alien to us.
That's a good baby name. Amoeba.
Oh my god.
And if it's twins, amoebas. Amoebae.
No!
Another astrophysicist, Isov Shavlovsky, suggested that the Martian moon Phoebus was an artificial satellite and was hollow as well. But
okay, see,
all of the evidence is circumstantial. Go ahead.
Well, all of this is circumstantial. But see, that's the shit that I'm more likely to listen to in terms of conspiratorial things. Because I'm like, you guys, there are other moons. Again, how selfish as a civilization do we have to be to think that we are the only ones that could be intelligent enough to create something, and it's only relevant if it's within our orbit? Other planets have moons. So if you're gonna have theories about these moons, you gotta have an explanation from where the other ones came from.
God, we're so self-centered.
But it's like, you can't be like, no, ours is man-made. The other ones that do the exact same thing and orbit in the exact same way and have the same purpose, those are natural. But ours, aliens.
Yeah.
Man-made. Like, that's not how that works. So, do I agree that all of the moons are made by aliens? Also, no. But I appreciate seeing someone else acknowledge at least one other moon in the solar system to be like, oh yeah, no, that actually might be involved in this too.
Of you.
It's just, I'm like, well, how could we, like, ours is fake, but Mars is fine?
Yeah. Space racism.
Spacism.
No. People also have mentioned that the Soviet Union apparently was promoting the ancient astronaut theory in an attempt to undermine the West's faith in religion. That doesn't sound crazy at all.
You know what?
They're trying to tell us Jesus wasn't real. Spaceship!
It's Russians. That sounds like the most, like, southern Republican, like, no, those damn Russians are trying to tell us that Jesus isn't real. He's an alien.
That's what I'm saying.
That kills me.
So
if you listen to them Russians, they'll tell you that Jesus was an alien.
So hey, Pookie.
That their moon's made of cheese.
I'm gonna science with you a little bit, okay?
I don't like it when you science with me.
The moon isn't hollow.
Oh, I agree with that.
And here's why. There is apparently multiple different ways to prove this.
Yes.
One of which is the internal structure of the moon. Using science, using seismic observations, samples, etc., the moment of inertia, don't ask me what that means, we have been able to, as of right now, prove that the internal structure is solid in the moon, with a thin crust, an extensive mantle, and a smaller, denser core. So you've got the mantle, which is just like Earth, it's the crusty outside. Then you have the partial melt, where it gets hotter and denser. The fluid outer core, which is exactly what it sounds like. And then a solid inner core, which is the very inside.
Jamie just fisted the air.
I did. I really wish you guys could see this one. This is a good episode. You guys should have.
Yeah, no, this is a very visual episode. We should start filming these.
I'm gonna look crazy.
You are, so.
I'm hanging up.
But this is my thing, too. Like, if you're... I mean, I know we said we're not going to talk about Hollow Earth.
Uh-oh.
But I was going to say, scientifically, we haven't sent people to the core of the Earth, but we can prove that there are different layers to the Earth and how our planet is made up. Are there those who believe that the Earth is also hollow and that there's a civilization and secret society living at the Earth's core? Yes. So, does this withstand those theories? No, but we're going to ignore that for now because we don't have time to unpack all of that. But, if we can prove that for Earth, we are also capable of proving that for the moon. Maybe we haven't scientifically gone far enough to be able to look at every single planet and study them as intensely as we'd like to. But the moon is close enough. We are able to send people to study it. We're able to at least send robots to study it. We can use that same technology to look at the density of the moon, and that same technology is telling us it is dense.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's smaller than the Earth, so it is less dense. But comparatively, it's the same concept.
Smaller Earth.
And, like, exactly. The only reason that people are arguing this, like, people who believe these, genuinely believe these theories and, like, will argue about them, is, like, every counterpoint they make is just like, oh, no, well, we haven't really been to the moon. The moon landing was fake. Oh, no, we haven't really done this because that was fake, too.
But
exactly.
Math and science and physics and astronomy and I'm going to even say
honestly,
and astrology.
Yeah. Like,
it's real.
There's so many other things that are proving to you with scientific evidence that there is a core to the moon and there's no one living in it.
There's a whole subsection of science on lunar
Which I think is so cool. I love the idea of studying moonquakes.
And if you can't spell that, maybe don't critique
it.
And that's coming from me too. If I start spouting off stupid stuff like that,
that's my favorite.
Tell me to
thing
spell
do,
it
Jamie,
and I'll shut up.
She likes to use big words sometimes, and then I go, spell it. Mm-hmm.
Like Sisyphus
Spell
is syphilis.
facetious, Jamie.
Couldn't even begin to tell you. Facetious. Nope. I don't think I've ever used that word. Is it a PH?
Really?
Really?
Yep.
F.
That's the
Is
only
it an
other
F?
letter that makes sense.
Let me try and spell it. F.
Nope.
F-U-S. I don't know. I have F-U-S-E-C-I-O-U-S.
So not even close.
Facetious. Fine, I'll Google it.
F-A-C-E.
I was only like 2 or 3 letters off.
Bitch. No.
I was only like 3 or 4 letters off.
But no,
Okay,
I
anyway.
completely agree with you. Like, if you... And this is also coming from someone who, maybe I can spell, but I will never pretend to know scientific things. I will never pretend to have a good understanding of science. I have an arts degree. I have a degree in Anglo-Saxon literature. I don't know shit about space. And I don't want to, quite frankly. It freaks me out. I don't want to know it. But I know enough to understand that I trust science. It's okay to question things. But if you can't even wrap your head around the potential of a scientific concept, don't try to critique it. It's as simple as that. It's like that.
Preach.
It exists for a reason, whereas there's no scientific evidence that exists to support the idea of a spaceship moon or a hollow moon. Because those are insane concepts.
And I'm also not sure why this gained so much popularity, because for research for this this episode, I Googled proof of the hollow moon. There's not much out there. There is Reddit threads of people being like, yes, it's a hollow moon. But all the articles you find are like, here's how to disprove it.
Well, exactly. I think...
So you have to be ignoring
100%.
a lot of the literature to be like, no, but it is.
I
But
would
it
also
is
like
because
to
I
point...
said so.
Yeah, that's a fantastic point, too, is so much of the counter argument is, no, it is because I said it is. Yeah, there's no comeback.
Nuh-uh.
There's no evidence to support it. It's just, nah, I believe something different. It's like, okay. It's like,
You can
okay.
have your opinion, I can have mine.
But I think it's also important to point out that the idea of this theory and like the conceptual presentation of the hollow moon, the earliest we see it is in a 1901 novel called The First Men in the Moon. And that novel was written by a man named H.G. Wells. And I think that's a really important distinction to make because H.G. Wells is considered one of the greatest science fiction writers of all time. And that dude knew how to write. H.G. Wells was the same person who created the War of the Worlds that convinced a giant part of the United States that aliens were attacking and caused people to go into a major spiral because he put on a radio show and everyone... again, was ignoring the facts laid out in front of them several times throughout the entire broadcast. They were like, hi, this is a Halloween show based on a fictional script written by H.G. Wells. These are actors acting on the radio. And people were still like, no. People were still like, no, aliens are attacking for sure. And lost their freaking minds. So if he's able to do that with a radio show, it shows the power that he had in his ideas and his writing. He came up with some fantastic conceptual ideas. But it's all fiction, and it's all clearly laid out as fiction. But it seems to be that this is another concept of H.G. Wells's that is taken as fact. I don't know what it is about what this man presents, but it seems to be whatever he says. There's a large group of people who are like, no, I know that he said that it's fake, but it sounds real to me, so it's real.
Well, there's this thing that I'm reading now that it says there's so much stuff disproving this because NASA doesn't want us to know. But why? What does NASA
an important
have to gain?
distinction to make, and maybe it's in recent years that it's only become available. Whatever. NASA's also confirmed a bunch of shit. NASA's also told us that aliens exist. Yep. NASA's also given us video footage of UFOs. They are not trying to hide something. as much as I love conspiracies, I think what people need to realize is that not everyone is out to get you. Not, like, have your wits about you, absolutely. Don't blindly trust things like the government. Don't blindly trust giving your information to people. But not everything in the world, like, not everyone has a contrary purpose. Sometimes you're just wrong. And that's okay.
There are lots of books that talk about a hollow moon.
But
we have to remember they're science
with the
fiction
H.G.
books.
Wells thing. It's a fantastic
And shows,
concept.
and movies.
It's same thing with Hollow Earth. Look at, like,
They're
Journey to the
fake.
Center of the Earth. That was a super popular film series.
Fake.
Fantastic films, but very clearly science fiction.
Yep.
It's no different than Hollow Moon. Hollow Earth, Hollow Moon, fantastic theories in science fiction. It is no different than looking at the Hunger Games and going, I really like that series. But is that real life? No. I really like the Harry Potter series, but is there really a secret magical school?
Yes.
No, well, Jamie. No. I really like Geronimo
there
Stilton.
is.
Does that mean that every rat that I see is running a fucking newspaper and solving mysteries around the world? No.
Have you ever watched Flushed Away? God. With our close
I
personal
was going
friend.
to say, I actually watched that quite recently. Yeah, with you. Yeah.
It was with me! Burger's
He heard
awake
Hollow
for the
Moon.
day.
Burger ate the moon.
It's only been 6
But-
hours.
You know what I mean? Cheese beaver.
Cheese bee burger.
That's why he's so round.
The moon is made of cheese.
Ugh.
That's why there's so many
Bites.
craters in the moon. He's been munching on it.
But you know what I mean? Like, there's so many concepts that in another universe could absolutely exist. But they're from the depths of our imagination. Just because we can conjure up the idea does not mean that there's some realistic merit to it. And again, in the same way that Jamie used to tell me she was a vampire or a mermaid or a wizard.
Shut up!
Are they fantastic things for us to play as kids?
The Illuminati are never gonna let me in their club if they keep hearing
if
us
I
talk
can't be a
about
fucking
this.
Freemason, you can't be in the Illuminati, okay?
Okay, well apparently another reason that the moon is hollow and alien made is that they found processed metals similar to brass, mica, and titanium, and sulfur and iron, and other ones I can't pronounce, minerals and stuff on the moon. So
that proves that, yeah, it's
a
a
spaceship.
structure.
it's made of metal. It's made of metal. David Icke suggested that the moon is a space station from
fucking
reptilians
reptiles.
where they can manipulate human thoughts. So
That's where the government works.
yes, that's why that's why you and I don't
Right.
believe in it,
Right.
Because they're manipulating our thoughts into thinking
Of
it's fake.
course.
Therefore,
No,
it's
you-
real.
You got me there.
Break out of the simulation. Christopher Knight in 2005 suggested that humans from the future traveled back into the past and built the moon to
Sorry,
safeguard
was this
human
Christopher or
evolution.
was this Anna? I
Christopher Knight, aka
I would
Anna
again
Banana.
like to give a throwback to our pyramids episode where Anna and I may have been on some certain substances having a good time, and while Jamie and our other guest were having a well-educated back and forth about the creation of the pyramids, Anna, so high, just started talking about coming back from the future.
You know, like time travel.
And
word for word, she's like, time travel, you go back, and then
no, she didn't
build
even say
stuff,
build
you know?
stuff. She was like, she interrupted you guys and went, I really think we need to understand that when they come back and they time travel, it gives an, you know what I mean? And you guys had no clue. I, also under the influence, went, no, I get it. I know exactly what you're talking about. And that is exactly what I was talking about. That's the funniest still.
Well, now
It
we've
only
decoded
took
what you meant.
like
That's
2
good.
years. But we finally figured out what Anna and I were talking about. I knew it the whole time. Anna knew it. We were on the same page. You guys. No.
Wrong book, though, guys.
Yeah, we weren't talking about them building the pyramids. We were talking about them building the moon. We should have known all along.
Well, people also believe that there are alien bases on the moon.
It's just
not that it's a spaceship, but it's like a landing port.
Like a...
Similar, but not the exact same theory, that the moon is inhabited currently by an alien race, but NASA is covering this up.
Maybe. My question is why? Why would they want to cover it up? It's not like... I know humans don't handle differences well. But, like, I know humans don't handle differences well. We can barely handle slight tans and different melanin concentrations on each other's skin. But it's not like normal people can get to space. What are we gonna do about it? Why is it such a big thing to hide? Because there is literally nothing that we can do. So why would they be working their asses off to cover it up?
Related, there's also apparently a hypothetical second moon named Lilith. There's creation stories and like historical stories about the splitting of the moon. I believe it's from the Muslim faith about the prophet.
Interesting.
Sorry, Islamic. Can't speak. The prophet Muhammad. I don't know too much about that one, so I won't get into it. But yeah, just in general, I'm gonna say moon is not hollow because specifically in 1998, there was an experiment called the Doppler gravity experiment, which used a polar low altitude map of the lunar gravity field to like prove the crust, the internal structure of the moon, the mass, the distribution, as well as the lithosphere. But that's just me. I will believe the science as of current.
But that's, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. The moon is not hollow. We can confirm.
If in like 20 years,
not
NASA goes, actually, we've been lying to you. There are aliens on the moon. Sorry.
I will believe them. Eat my words.
Yeah, then I will go, you're right. My bad. But I was believing what we believe now.
That's how science works. Yep. You have to be, everything is falsifiable, 100%. That's what makes scientific theories. Because there is no concept that we believe currently that is not created in order to be falsifiable.
Yep.
Even if you look at, not that I want to get into flat Earth, but for a long time, it was genuinely believed. It was genuinely theorized that the planet was flat.
So if 600 years later they go, oh guys, actually we're a triangle. Okay, we're a triangle.
But after scientific study and after more resources are available and better understanding is presented, it is okay to say, actually, as a scientific community, we were wrong. We have more knowledge now. We can see very clearly and undeniably that there is more surface to the world.
Silly willy, guys.
It is round.
Not bad.
It's the same thing with psychological concepts. It's the same thing with like different theories about space. It's the same thing with theories about how the human body works. Mm-hmm. Everything is falsifiable because we are always evolving our knowledge. But people need to people need to just stop fighting their stubbornness. And that's coming from, I'm a very stubborn person. I feel like you all know this by now. But you need to pull your head out of your ass sometimes and say, okay, maybe I don't fully agree, but maybe everyone who looks at the science isn't a sheep and isn't stupid. Maybe they just have a different opinion than I do. And vice versa. Maybe the people who fervently believe in these conspiracies, they have every right to. But you need to be able to hear the perspectives of everybody. That's the only way that we learn. That's the only way that things become falsifiable and things become understandable, is that we hear different perspectives and accept different details. So to sit there and just be like, well, no, like, on either side
Yes.
is not beneficial by any means.
I have 2 more if you'd like to hear.
Go for it, my friend.
Also, if you hear crinkling in the background, that's my cat chewing on his toy. I'm sorry.
It's the moon bell ringing.
Yeah, this is what it sounds like when Burger eats the moon. Good job, buddy.
Taking a big bite out of it. There's now new craters on the moon.
ASMR, here you go, guys.
Oh my god.
Ew, okay.
I already hate it.
So, according to Zulu legend, also, I think this one's cool, not necessarily that I believe it.
Perfect.
The hollow moon was put in place by 2 brothers with fish-like skin. They are Wowowane and Mapanku, question marks, who
I like how quiet she gets when she tries to say.
trying to be respectful.
I know.
Who brought the moon to Earth after stealing it from a great fire dragon.
Are they minions?
No! They're fishy brothers. They are said to have emptied out the egg-like satellite of its yolk and placing it in the orbit around Earth.
So is the moon itself the yolk?
Okay, so if I'm reading this correctly, the yolk fell onto Earth and made water because the water references a great flood that destroyed civilizations.
Okay.
And then maybe the egg shell is the hollow moon in the atmosphere.
Okay, so that's like the remnants of...
I think
shell.
that's what this is saying, and they're saying this is... The proof that they have is that NASA found cloud vapor and water particles.
What if the aliens were just vaping?
What if the astronauts were just vaping?
Yeah, you don't know.
But that's a more mythical version. And then my last statement is the moon is made of green cheese.
Not blue cheese, green cheese?
Apparently specifically green cheese.
Interesting. Okay.
And apparently this theory is not one of much relevance. Apparently 20% of children in the US told scientists when asked that it was made of cheese because it looked like it had holes.
Valid. Swiss
Which
cheese.
is definitely something children would say. However,
I fully
we
believe
know
that the
better
moon
than
was made of cheese
children.
when I was a kid.
I probably did too, to be honest. However, there's literally no proof of it. And in fact, apparently there are multiple fables or stories throughout history where they say the moon is made of green cheese as in you're an idiot. You think the moon is made of green cheese. So for example, one of the tales, I guess you could say, was a Servian tale, which I guess is Slavic and stuff. A fox leads a wolf to believe that the moon's reflection in the water is cheese. And so then the wolf tries to swallow all the water to get to the cheese. And the fox is dumb wolf, haha. There's also a Zulu tale about a hyena who drops his bone in the water to go after the reflection of the moon in the water because it looks like a cheese wheel. There's a bunch of different ones. There's Scottish ones. There's Turkish tales. But all of these kinds of stories are all fabled.
They're all early creation stories. And
none of them are oh yeah, the moon is made of cheese and it's a conspiracy and I believe it. It's oh, this is a fable we tell children as they go to sleep at night.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not actually made of cheese, guys. I know. I'm sorry.
It's the most devastating realization is when you grow up and you're like, it's not cheese, it's just a freaking thing in space.
Oh, I did also want to mention there's a fictional character in the DC Comics named Little Cheese. That's their hero name. Real name is Chester Cheese. Featuring a type of cheese that was found on the moon by an astronaut. I'm sorry, DC Comics, you're wrong. There's no cheese on the moon.
I would like to point out, I'm a Marvel girl through and through. But DC Comics side comics, like not like the Justice League and stuff, have some of the fucking funniest superheroes
Like
I've
Captain
ever heard
Carrot
of in
and
my
his
life.
Amazing Zoo Crew.
I'm thinking about Dog Welder and Six Pack.
All right.
Like, dude who literally, he got cursed by Anubis to weld dogs to living people.
Oh, Anubis. Anubis wouldn't do that.
Dogs don't weld.
He's
They're
not
not
that kind of
metal.
guy.
That's not how that works.
Yeah, none of that makes sense. Anubis would never. And dogs are...
And his partner, Six Pack, is just literally like a dude in a diaper with a beer gut.
Oh. But yeah... That's what I've got on moons, hollow moons, spaceship moons, cheesy moons.
Cheesy moons.
I think the moon is a rock that split off from Earth when something crashed into it billions of years ago.
I think it's just a part of space. It's a further part of space that I don't understand, but it's space made.
Not man-made, not alien-made.
Not man.
Probably.
No, probably. But no, I think the moon is just so interesting to me, and like we said, it's like the concept of how much the moon actually controls and like the effect that it plays naturally and spiritually is just so intense. I feel like there's just no argument that it's not a massive part of the universe.
Yeah.
And I think anything like that is going to have some weird conspiracies that come out of it, but it's very interesting and funny to go through some of the things.
Yeah.
But again, you have to kind of take it with a grain of salt, for sure.
This was a nice, lighthearted conspiracy compared to, I think, our last few, so I'll take it.
Yeah, it's a conspiracy that doesn't hurt anybody. But people just get so defensive about it.
It's okay that you're wrong and stupid, Pookie.
Anyway.
Wrap it up before I get it canceled.
Yeah. If you would like to let us know your theories about the moon, what you think about the hollow moon theory, is it made of cheese? Did aliens make it? Who knows? Maybe you know. Let us know what you believe. You can send us an email at our email, which is creepsandcoffee, or you can send us a message over at our Instagram or our Twitter at creepsandcoffee. If you would like extra special and extra exclusive cool bonus content, get some behind the scenes info, and a very special bonus episode of our show every month, you can check out our Patreon, which is patreon.com/creepsandcoffee. And if you want to hear your name during this part of the show on every single episode, that's also a bonus perk for subscribing to our Patreon. Thank you so much for joining us.
If you want Burger
the
to
Moon
say
Eater's
hello
coming.
to you.
The Moon Eater's coming. We thoroughly enjoyed doing this episode. We are so excited to share it with you. And we can't wait to chat with you next time when we start to get into our Halloween shows.
Woo! You guys are going to love this. I almost said this season. This next month.
Season.
You'll love it.
I like it.
Yeah.
Well, we love it, so.
Do.
All right. Goodbye.
I love you. Burger, say bye-bye. Okay. The one time I want him to say something.
Bye. Creeps and Coffee is produced and edited by us, Kate and Jane.
Our theme music is Stuck in a Hole by Dated.
For more information on where to find them, check out the link in our show notes. And to connect with us, follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Creeps and Coffee.